Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Good old Jeffrey Marsh is back once again making a video saying, if you weren't aware, by the way, a lot of people on the left seem to think that JD Vance is weird for certain reasons, which we can't actually get into on this show, unfortunately. But nevertheless, people on the left seem to think that JD Vance is a weird character, or that people that happen to be on the right are, quote, weird. Very interesting to me that people on the left happen to be pushing that trend of somebody being weird that happens to be on the right. Have they taken a good hard look at their side of the aisle yet to see what is weird? But of course, they don't see the sexualization of kids. They don't see the total perversion of society as being weird. No, they glorify that. They worship that. They celebrate that. And one of those people that does all those things and much, much more is the likes of Jeffrey Marsh. I've made several videos about Jeffrey in the past. And well, you guys know my thoughts about Jeffrey Marsh, but Jeffrey doesn't like people on the right. Jeffrey doesn't like Donald Trump. And is there any reason as to why Jeffrey Marsh doesn't like Donald Trump or people on the right? According to Jeffrey Marsh, that people like libs of TikTok, for example, happen to get their knickers in a knot when they see something like Jeffrey Marsh talking to kids online and, directly sending the sexualization message aimed at kids and trying to indoctrinate kids with messages that no child should ever have any business knowing about because they're a child. But according to Jeffrey Marsh, well, if libs of TikTok decide to post a video that is trying to steer people away and trying to get people a little bit upset and trying to make people rather aware of the fact that people like Jeffrey Marsh exist out there and you need to be careful of them, or more than that, that there are some extremely other weird people out there in the world that you need to take notice of. But according to Jeffrey Marsh, because they're posting about kids far too often in Jeffrey Marsh's eyes, that is weird. Isn't that a little bit weird? So have a watch of Jeffrey Marsh talk about some of the areas of weirdness that Jeffrey seems to think take place on the right.
Hello, can we talk about the whole weirdness conversation and the far right? It is so weird that libs of TikTok and these far right accounts post about children obsessively. They post 20, 30 times a day about children and Law and Order SVU stuff. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? I will do a video. Well, no, like a pride flag at the airport sends these people to that place in their mind. I will do a video that I had a sandwich for lunch, and there will be all these people there with their all caps. How dare you tell children you had a sandwich? Like, that is deeply weird. Is it not?
I wouldn't say that they post about children obsessively, and not in the kind of way you think that they are posting about kids. They're not posting about kids in the way that you post about them, Jeffrey. They post about kids that shocking and horrific things have been done to the likes of those young kids. And they want justice to be had for what's taken place to those young kids. Now, they don't post about young kids religiously, but unfortunately, people on the left seem to think that it's a good idea to groom kids, and a lot of people on the left seem to be caught out doing just that. A lot of people on the left are quite complicit in that matter, and it's rather disgusting if you ask me. And Jeffrey, if you aren't already aware, some of the videos that you've made yourself directing messages straight to kids, and you are, I don't even know how old you are, mate, but my goodness me, it gave me the creeps. And it gave a lot of other people the creeps too. It sent chills down my spine, because any biological male that is above a certain age should not be directing a message straight to kids, telling them to go to your private Patreon account and ask you questions without parents' knowledge. That's what we call grooming, I'll have you know. And well, I'm not going to say, I can't say too much more about that, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'll get banned. But anyway, Jeffrey seemed to think that libs of TikTok posting about trying to help kids is weird. People on the far right are weird. Now, I do want to somewhat agree that people on the far right can be a little bit weird, just as much, if not more, people on the far left and even people on the left too. So this whole thing of people being weird and so forth, I mean, I think it's getting a little bit out of hand. So it's like, who's weirder, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris? Who's weirder, the coffin, Joe Biden, or Donald Trump or JD Vance? Like, my goodness me. Like, we're not adults anymore. We're like little kids. Little kids. You're weird. I don't like what you've done. It's really absurd. Like, anyway, let's continue this, shall we? So Jeffrey saying that libs of TikTok posting about law and order stuff that involve kids, that's weird. So it's weird to want to help kids nowadays. Who would have thought that was on the table? But that's what I mean. People on the left, like Jeffrey Marsh, people that want to involve children in their own life and speak to children directly and send them a very particular message. And also the same person, Jeffrey Marsh, wants J.K. Rowling to lose her, license deal with Warner Brothers and Harry Potter. She created and she'll never lose. But, the whole tolerant love, self-love and loving message that Jeffrey Marsh is trying to portray, it's kind of like backfiring at the moment because, well, what are you doing right now? You're accusing libs of TikTok for being extremely weird, but you are being weird yourself right now. I don't know if you've noticed that, but you're clasping at straws here a little bit, mate. Okay, that reaction was a little bit weird, but I just can't. I just can't anymore with these sorts of people. I just, my goodness me, it's just like the level of insanity is just beyond my comprehension. But these people do exist. They're allowed to exist. They're allowed a free platform to share their thoughts about matters that they don't really have much business or much credibility sharing these matters about. But nevertheless, it doesn't stop me from making a video and setting things straight, trying to make sense of things that don't make sense. That is it hurts my brain. But nevertheless, there are weird people out there. Unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know. But according to Jeffrey Marsh, people get all riled up. And I know they do get riled up on Twitter. But, I've seen a lot of Jeffrey Marsh's posts and a lot of them have made me question many, many things. That's all I can say about that, unfortunately. I can't really say too much about Jeffrey Marsh that I want to say because I'll get banned if I say it. But yeah, even though it's the truth and we've got receipts to prove it. But nevertheless, whether or not you think Jeffrey Marsh is correct, that's up to you. But I can't wait to see what the comments produce about this one. So what do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Is people on the right, like JD Vance and Donald Trump, are they weird? Maybe they are weird, but I think they're the good kind of weird. I think that is possible to have the good kind of weird. But who knows? I don't think you're allowed to be weird nowadays. You're only allowed to be the far left kind of weird, which is not weird. It's insane weird. It's just the kind of weird that makes your head scratch your head going, what the actual? Anyway, you guys take care. You be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.